Divorce has grown so rampant in the world today, especially in Africa. African men, like we know, they have ego. All right. As a woman, before you go into the marriage, when you say I do, you are saying I do to the person's weakness and not the strength. Follow me to the end of this video and you get to know some causes of broken home. Welcome back, ladies. How are you doing today? I'm Amaka Benedict, and this is Letters to the Singles and the Marriage Forum. So, I want us to discuss this issue called divorce in marriage. Like we all know, marriage is an institution of continuous learning. You never graduate from this institution you get yourself into, woman. I am letting you know that now. So, every marriage you say is not perfect. You have to know that every marriage you see has levels and stages. It doesn't matter how long you've been in that marriage, but what is important is for you to keep building and working on your marriage. That is what is important. Like I said when I started, I took out time to study, what causes divorce in African marriages. And after the study, I came out with these few tips I shall be sharing with you today. I want you to know that it doesn't matter how long you have been in marriage, you are consigned here. Whichever level you fall, you are not above those mistakes. As far as there is no marriage that is perfect, we individuals are imperfect beings going into marriage with our partners. We don't expect to be perfect. But in Africa, 6 out of 20 women you see are divorced from home. That if my analysis is correct. You see, divorce has become so rampant in African marriages today because women are no longer, who they are. Some want to become Steve, whereas they are women. Women. A man is known for ego, but an African woman is saying to what? To calm a man's ego using what? Techniques and not violence. I want you to take that to heart. Now, I shall be sharing with you some, critical and little causes of broken home. I want you to know that no marriage all of a sudden starts breaking in one day. It takes time and it takes steps. So it takes a woman that is conversant. It takes a woman that, give time to his relationship, his marital relationship, to understand what the causes. Because if women are able to what? To get the problem from the tip, I believe that the rate at which divorce in marriage will be reduced. Some points that triggers divorce in marriage. 1. Due to technological advancements, it has been noted that partners give more time to their phones, to their computer, to their PC, to their laptop, more than their partners. In marriage, in the old times, our forefathers don't know what these technological, gadgets are. So all they know is communication between their spouse. People tend to, they relate with themselves one-on-one. In that manner, they know what the faults of their spouse are. The woman understands the man and the man understands the woman. But today, it's not so. People have given more time to, to technology other than their spouse. And that could be the reason or is the reason for divorce in marriages. Because when you don't understand your spouse, there is no way you can live together. I am not saying that there is anybody that is 100%, perfect. That is not what I mean. What I mean is that by the time we give time to our spouse to understand them to some extent, we'll be able to tell their rights from their wrong. Improper communication in marriage. Now, in marriage, it is assumed that there will be a proper courting before finally, saying I do to the person in question. But when there is no proper communication during courtship, there will be no ground for communication. It's very, very unideal to wave off disturbing issues in marriage. When partners have different kind of issues disturbing them, the better way to resolve this is to what? Is to call each other what to order. And this can only be done through communication. There is no way I will be able to know what is in your mind if you don't explain it to me. Words, they say is powerful. By the time we sit down, we talk it out together, this person knows, okay, this is where my fault is, and the other person understands it, there will be resolution. So, this is a step to what? To bring down divorce in marriage. The third is assumption. If you have not watched my video on assumption in marriage, I will leave the link either here or here. I want you to go watch it so that you understand what assumption in marriage really is. Assumption. Marriage couples sometimes, overly assume things about their partners, which can be very, very deadly in marriage. It can bring marriage and ruin marriage with it. For instance, you don't know what your spouse is thinking, or what your spouse wants to do, or what to tell you, or how to go about a particular thing. But the other person is already what? Fabricating thoughts. Most especially, in most cases, negative thoughts towards, what the other person wasn't even thinking about. That is assumption. Thinking that your partner will need this when you have not had. That is why I said communication is key in marriage. So we have to give heed to that, to kick divorce away from our context. On my list, cause of broken home is impatience. Impatience. Now, I want to pause to say this. As a single woman, if your level of patience cannot tolerate a particular habit or character in a man, please don't marry. Don't marry that man. Because marriage does not change anybody, it amplifies the characters in that person. So if you have cheap, you notice that a particular character pisses you off to the extent that you really don't want to be with that person again. Why not cut it off? Because you are going to see more of that when you get into that marriage. And this is the reason most women are killing their husbands today. If you go to the internet, you find women, African women, pouring hot water on their husbands, roasting their husbands alive, pouring acidic substance on them, stabbing them to death while asleep. It is because of what? Impatience. If it is because of intolerance. Instead of you to kill your partner in marriage, it is better to remain a good single woman. End up what? Killing somebody and find yourself in hell. Make your decisions right. Aspect of impatience in marriage is, in Africa, illustration so that you'll be able to understand me very well. In Africa, there is this practice of, I got married to my husband, and another person is there so the good things that the husbands give to you. Let's say he's a friend, is always coming to tell you, this is what I got, and what has your husband given to you? That man is not worth it. That man can't take care of you. Please do not listen to people in your marriage. The only person you should, be submissive to is your husband and God in that marriage. Listening to other people, listening to them and taking their opinions to heart, make most African women to what? To divorce their husband with no intention, just because they're impatient. Let's say the man wasn't able to meet up, let's say financially, your financial need, or most of your, your aspirations. Doesn't mean that he won't get that in the future. But most women are impatient. They are not patient enough to wait for their husbands, to wait, say, I do to the husband. If your intentions were wrong right from the onset, they will continue to remain wrong in that marriage. Please make your decisions right. I think could, trigger divorce is, looking at more of the erotic nature of your spouse from the onset other than, what's on the inside. Like I said before, talked about the differences between girls and women. So if you want to watch that video and get yourself abreast, Just go watch it. I will leave the link somewhere in the video so you can go watch it. One difference between a woman and a girl I mentioned in that video is that a woman looks at what drives a man before he gets into marriage. But a girl does not. Rather, they look at what the man is driving. The car, he drives a big car, he has a big house, he does things. But a woman, a true woman, look on the inside, looks at what moves the man, looks at the characteristics. Even if you're going to be driving a big car today, what character do you have, to complement, and that which you own? What pushes you? What are your aspirations in life? So I think if women are considerate on this, they would know, they will be patient enough to look at the inside of the man other than what we see in the beginning before jumping into marriage. The next factor I think contributes to divorce is lack of proper courtship. Single women, before you say I do to a man, before you get into marriage, learn to get to know the man. We know that we are humans, blood runs through our veins, but there is no way you be with somebody for a very long time without getting to know some of his likes or his dislikes. So when you court properly, during that period, you might have gotten yourself abreast. Who says you're perfect? You will fight. You see, marriage is marriage is a ground where you fight. You fight. In marriage, you disagree to agree. All right? We don't disagree, to separate. We disagree to agree in marriage. But before the marriage, it is good that you have good courtship so that you get to know what your spouse is made up of before you dive into marriage. This, to some extent, will reduce the rate at which divorce happens in our continent. What I'm going to be talking about today is eloping with a man. And advise single women who are aspiring to get into marriage to never elope with a man, because that man will everly remember your mistake you made from the onset. Do things right, court properly, and get married. Do not elope with any man. What you need to have at the back of your mind is, who does the man fear? If a man does not have any of his family member he's afraid of, you don't know any of his family member, you don't know his parents, who will you turn to when the fear a black man? You have to get to know some of his parents, his family member, know the people he fears, the people he listens to in his family. Like I said from the onset, naturally, African men have ego. You can't take that away from them. So if you want to be with them, you got to have that at the back of your mind. So we don't fight with our partners physically. And African women, especially where I'm from, people, they expect us to what? To help spouse with technique. So if you get to know your spouse very well, you'll be able to carry out this. Now, I am not in any way running with divorcees down. In fact, I want to tell you that there are other factors that contribute to divorce the party too. So many men are just outrageous. Some could be as a result of other factors. But I want to tell you, woman, if you are a divorcee right now, and you have what? Yes, it is okay to cry. It is okay to break down in the beginning. But I tell you, after you have cried it out, you shake out those shackles, come out of it, move on, stand right, and do things that makes you happy. Be stronger to what? To live a better life. Do great things. Is a woman and a reputable woman, whether single, married, or divorced. If you achieve, if in this video, I will come your way next time with stages in marriage. Please, I want you to prepare for that video, to be part and parcel of that video. It's going to be dropping in a week's time, and I will to look forward to that video, because it's going to be a bomb. We need the stuffs in marriage to help African women, black women, to be positive. This video to the end, you have come this far. I want to say a very big thank you for as many who have subscribed to this channel from day one. I want to say you are the real deal. I love you and there is nothing you can do about it. And as for those who are yet to subscribe, please, what are you waiting for? What are you still waiting for? I want you to hit the subscribe button right now, like this video, go to the comment section and make it an interactive video like I've wished it to be you, so that your girl will continue to bring this to your table all the time. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.